the black hole. Sing for my soul.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another season and a brand new episode of Sunshine on Leyth. If you're still enjoying it, drop a like, that'd be superb. So, it's the hottest day of the year in the UK, and I have to wear this. But I did find the t-shirt, so we do at least have the stripy top back. It's just, this is the worst possible time to be recording this video with a hat on in a dark room with this, essentially a sweat mac is what it does. It just makes you sweat. But not to worry, because we've got signings to talk about. Now, as always, the plan for this episode is, obviously we haven't made all our signings because it's only the 1st of August. I've got some more in the pipeline, because we've got plenty of money left. We got some massive money last summer, so we've got plenty of money to deal with. Now, obviously, a lot of that came from the Liverpool money, which really will set us up for a good season in League One. As you could see, Blackhaven United in League One with us. We played them twice this year. We're getting a derby. The first game isn't until, like, November, though, which kind of sucks. Now, first big news is the fact that, remember me saying that the board were planning to extend the stadium to 7,200 people as a result of needing to, basically. Well, upon our promotion, they decided to bin that off entirely, and they've decided to build a new stadium, which is just exactly what we needed right now. I'm a bit concerned about what that's going to do to us financially, because we're still paying off debts from the previous extension, and now they want to build a brand new one entirely. Now, they're still in the planning phase, so it's going to be a few years before they get there, but we've got to try and race to a position to get some money before the board do something absolutely asinine at this point. But it would be quite funny if our stadium ended up being bigger than Blackhaven's, because, you know, that's just what you want to do, innit? Also, new contracts for some of our players. One of the main things I've been working on this summer is to try to get new contracts for some of our players, because a lot of the big guys I brought in had release clauses, and that was part of the sort of reason they came in. But I've managed to get rid of a load of them. So for a start, Curtis has a new Thomas. He has a new contract, but also Dave Morton has a new contract, which is really important because he had a 400k release clause, and that is now gone. He's on like £1,200 a week, but I think he's deserved it. And in addition to that, Russell Nevitt, he had a release clause of £160,000, which was triggered by about 7 different clubs. It was for clubs in a higher division, so, you know, unfortunately, which was annoying because a couple of League One clubs seemed to be able to trigger it while before the season had flipped over, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. However, I was able to persuade him to stay, and that seemed to open up another option for me, so I was still able to offer him a new contract, even though he'd had his release clause triggered. And lastly, I'm not a petty man, but this should be good. I got a news article through that said, you know, the one where it's always like, you don't have an under-23s manager, here's like a list of candidates. And I noticed that one of the candidates was Thomas Frank, which I just found terrific. So I thought, you know what, Thomas, I'm going to throw you a bone. Let you come to Whitport and be our under-23s manager. Find out what it's like to work. You know, he'll fear me soon. He will. Right, let's get into some signings now, because there's been some outs, I think, mostly released players. So here you can see our released list. So Jaden Forrester, Ben Winterbottom, Luke Billum. He just wasn't getting the game time, so I didn't feel it was worth keeping him around. Rocco Adabati, Dion George, Alan Blake, and Kalantari all left. Right, let's do the ins. Big time now. So it's been all free transfers this summer. All free transfers, all loan signings. Now, I talked with high hopes about my plans for next season in the last episodes. Not quite gone the way I wanted to. So I'll quickly explain that now while you have a little look at Ibrahim Ajay. So I talked about a guy from York City, Bradley Davidson. I think I even showed him in the analysis video. So I was hoping to sign him at the end of his contract. His contract expired and then he just stayed at York. They didn't release him, he just stayed there. And what I just thought was fine, it's obviously a rolling contract kind of deal. But then when I tried to put a bid in to approach to sign him, they wouldn't let me do it. And they wanted me to pay a transfer fee to a player who had no contract. But then when I was finally able to get him to talk to me, he wouldn't talk to us anyway, which is a bit weird because he was playing for a National League side and he wouldn't talk to a team in League One. And unfortunately, I can't seem to get that guy on loan from Colchester either, because Colchester won't let me have him. They were happy to let him go to the National League last year, but they're not going to let him come to a League One side, probably because they're in League One and they might want to use him a bit more. He is a 6'6" left back. He's not super quick, but he's got an additional amount of height to him. So he could also be retrained to play at centre-backs too, and he certainly could do a job there if we absolutely needed him to, but he's got decent enough crossing and dribbling, 18 years old, was released by Spurs, so I thought I'd bring this guy in to give us a bit more backup, basically, because I was particularly concerned about losing Nevitt. Next up is Neil Cross, who came in from Manchester United on a free transfer. Now, originally, the Bradley Davidson was going to be the key man for us this season, but I thought, you know what, we do need a bit more backup in that role, so we've got Neil Cross in to come in behind Jacob Wakeling, might start, not entirely sure. Got 12 and 10 in pre-season, 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 15 composure as well. Good decisions, determination, leadership off the ball. There's a lot. He ticks a lot of the boxes for being a poacher or an advanced forward. The heading is a little bit low because he is but anticipation, really, there's very few things other than his dribbling, which is still an 11 and could be worked on. I think he's a really well-rounded player. £650 a week. He's Irish, so he probably will get a bump when he gets an international cap, because I think he probably could do one day. I actually really like Neil Cross. Next up, coming in on the right-hand side is Paul Cinnamon, who's coming from Liverpool. Not quite Paul Sinner, but he will be doing the chase down the right-hand side for us. So far, pace isn't fantastic, but he's got good acceleration, so he's quick off the mark. Good crossing and dribbling. Like, pleased with that. Lacks a little bit in the mental areas. He's a Scot, which is pretty sick. Like to bring him in. He was rated a bit higher, but he was one of the ones I was just kind of like, we need a little bit more backup on that right-hand side, because we really have struggled still to find a quality right-sided player. And then the last of the players that came in from that batch of Premier League sides, and probably the best one for me, is Sam Harding. So now we have Will Harding and Sam Harding. The Harding brother, the Hardy boys, I suppose we should call them. He, to me, has got a little bit more about him, hence why he's on more money. But, so... work rate and aggression, not the highest, but we've shown this year that with Dave Morton, you might not need it to be perfect to get the best out of that role. And the first of those sort of released Premier League side players is Ibrahim Adeniran, who I was actually looking at last year, I think, or it might have been the year before they were about to release him and then they signed him to a new deal. But we just wanted a little bit more on that right-hand side. He's not bad. Like, he does the simple things well. He's got some decent mentals, but he is 21, so slightly older and on a bit more money too. Now into the loan signings. This is Ray Jennings, who's coming on loan from Whitport Athletic. We're paying £400 a week, so like it was basically a no-brainer to try and bring this guy in. 3-star, 5-star potential, of course, but we're not really that concerned about that. Really decent pace and acceleration. Not great on the crossing. Decent dribbling. Passing's okay. Technique's not too bad. Is very aggressive, so that could help us, I suppose. Next up is one I'm really pleased with. This is Josh Parry, who's coming on loan from Fulham. This one really, really excited me when I saw this guy. So he's only 6'1", so he's not super tall, but he does have 16 jumping reach, which is my main factor here. 16 bravery as well, 15 heading. This guy's a heading machine, so he's got a real bouncy boy. Marking and tackling are fine, but the fact is he's a really decent centre-back to give us a bit more backup. In fact, not even backup. I think he could start for us. And then on that topic, I brought in another 6'7" centre-back because the opportunity arose, basically. This is Sherwin Aline, who's coming from Preston North End, technically. £1,000 a week on a 4-year deal, but I felt like at 22, he actually could be something. Now, when you look at this as well, they really do think that he's got some mad potential. Now, he's not the best heading, but he's got good tackling and marking. He's a little bit on the slow side because he is 6'7". Next up as well, Sean Jackman on loan from Barnsley. Now, he can play at the centre, but obviously we'd play him slightly deeper. He is a loan signing that I'll probably try to release, frankly, because I'm not entirely convinced that we need him, particularly as I'm working on a better signing. I think it's also from Barnsley too. Oh, actually, tell a lie, he has joined us. It's Mohamed Moulay Idris, also joined us from Barnsley. Where is he from? He's from Mauritania. Sick. Isn't that cool? Yeah, 5'9", but you could see much better tackling, much better marking. He's just better across the board. Paying the same amount of money for him for the season, so I didn't really see the point in bringing the other guy in with him, because I feel like my man Mohammed here is almost certainly going to be the man for that job. Now, the fact is, he's not a bad passer either, to be honest, so he could actually play in both roles. That's why I really, really liked him. And last but not least, John Richardson is back for another year on loan from Huddersfield, annoyingly. So what happened was, a lot of the players I was looking for, their contracts are expiring in a month. Well, not in a month. They hadn't got to the point where they were expiring in a month. And all of them signed 1-year extensions, basically, like 2 days before the month before we could actually put an approach to signing on them. Now, that might just be a triggered part of their contract, so it could still be that he leaves Huddersfield at the end of the season and we can pick him up. But the point is, John Richardson is back anyway. So that's generally the situation. There's plenty more signings to come, I'm hoping anyway. I still want to bring in another right back. I might even have to dump a shitload of money into trying to sign a full-price right back, because that's an area where we absolutely must sign someone. But for today, we're playing Chesterfield, who are Blackhaven playing. They're playing the McDons, of course, who came up through the playoffs, I should point out. It's 26 degrees at the match. It's not 26 degrees in here, it's 29.5 degrees in here. It's gone up by 4 degrees in the 16 minutes since I've been recording this video. Let's see who's actually going to come in. Cross and Wakeling, that is not happening. Not happening. Neil Cross will start, but he'll start with Curtis Thomas, of course. Morton, Richardson and Parry. I don't think so. We'll leave that as it is. I'll keep Josh Parry on the bench. Oh, I actually can register him now. Okay. I may just put him in instead, actually, of Vernon, but put Vernon on the bench. There's Harding too, like, so many options. So the bench is going to be Vernon, Harding, Parry, Wakeling, Ajay, Lee, and Harding. The Hardy boys are back in town, lads. I do still think it's going to be a very tough season for us, though. We can't expect to win as many games as we have in the past. Oh, good lord. But you know what? That's fine. Our plan this season is stay up. I think we're comfortably good enough to do that, to be honest. But it is going to be a bit more difficult because there's less teams and quite a lot of relegation spots. They've got R. Kelly in the midfield here, so that is a bit concerning. Hopefully he doesn't believe he can fly. If it's all the same, R. Right then. I might just drop this down a little bit so we can have more league table this time around, because we kind of do need it for the moment, because we have no idea exactly where we're going to be. We get to play the likes of Sunderland this season in a league match. That's going to be amazing. Any points we take are good points. Idris with the corner. Ball across, and Richardson comes down. Vanille cross again. Drop it back outside. Here we go. Bit of space for Idris. Can he whip it across? He does, you know. Morton over the crossbar. Lovely stuff. I mean, maybe he won't be able to match his level this season. Maybe he is just a League 2 quality striker that's completely brilliant at that level, but can't cut it at League 1. There's a long way to go, though. Oh, wow. Oh, what? How was that a penalty? I didn't even see. It looked like it just was kicked at someone. That is very strange. Morley steps up for Chesterfield, and it's straight down the middle. Chesterfield 1, Whitport 0. We've had all the early running in this match, and now we find ourselves a goal down here. I don't know why the penalty was given. He said he stuck out his leg, but I didn't really see anything. It was just a bit of a melee. But then again, what would I see? Just got to keep going. I think we've got to use those wide areas a lot, because they are going to be, of course, you know, lacking a lot of defensive width there. Oh my god, Nielsen's through again. And it's a good save by Idahan. That should be nicely... Wow, okay. I mean, there's the differences right there. Gilbert's a bit wide to get the shot in, I think. Oh, good block again. Yeah, they look a little bit better, don't they? They're a cut above some of the things we've played before. Come on, Dave. Do something special for us here. And he's gone for goal. Martin makes a stop, but at least it's a shot on target here. We've had a half chance today, too. Certainly not committing as many fouls as we were before. That is just really nice play from Chesterfield. Steve Altabaumer makes it 2-0 Chesterfield here, and we are looking very, very unlikely to get anything in our first match in League 1. We always knew it was going to be a little bit of a struggle this season. I'm not going to deviate from our standard tactical plan. I want to make sure that we stick to our guns this season, keep strengthening where we can, and we're going to fight to stay up. It's just a really nice ball, and Nevitt gets completely caught out there. I thought it might even be Dave Morton that's supposed to be tracking him there. Regardless, 2-0. Kelly's ball in. Cleared away, and there's just no one getting to it. Nielsen... blocked, and he still got it. On the plus side, Blackhaven are losing as well, at home, and it's bloody Stanley Udo. So, just not a good performance, really. We're just struggling a bit right now. It's going to take a little while to bed the guys in. I don't know. We can't expect the sort of results we were getting last season, quite simply, and we're going to have to learn to lose more regularly. Butler, good ball in, and it's Knight will clear it, and Kelly brings it down, and no. Keep that in at least. Nope. Thomas will get this. He's very, very deep, though. And he's found Johnson, though. Bit of space, and... could even get that down the line. He's found Neil Cross. Can he get a first touch on it? Neil Cross! And he scored his first goal for the club. The former Manchester United youth player gets us the lead, and Chesterfield's defence looks even crosser. What a ball from Ben Johnson. That's a bit more like it from him. Admittedly, not really what we were expecting from him, but what a ball. Lovely touch from Neil Cross. Just gets the defender out of the way, and it's a lovely little composed finish. First goal for the club, first goal for us in League 1, and we're back in the match amazingly. I put it on early crosses, and that might well have done the trick there. The irony being, I was literally just about to substitute Neil Cross for Jacob Wakeling because he did nothing so far. Ray, oh, it's all the way through. And Thomas, and oh no, that was a chance and a half. Thomas has to score there. I can't believe he's missed that. I thought he was offside initially, but he wasn't. And it's cleared. He should be scoring there. He's managed to hit the crossbar with it, amazingly. Morton. Tackled by Norton. I'm thinking Michael Lee soon. Johnson. Oh, Christ. Get that tackle. Oh, he didn't. Should have won that in the air. Gilbert. And it's a simple goal. Paddy Gilbert makes it 3-1 to Chesterfield now, and we've probably been wrapped up at that point. I think the defender needs to be more aggressive there when coming across. Just try and clear the guy out if you need to. Just try to win this in the air. Stop this ball from being brought down there by Gilbert, and he just doesn't get in there fast enough. And the moment that Gilbert gets through after that, it's a straightforward situation for Chesterfield, and it's 3-1 now. We've got to make changes. It's good to know other sides are losing worse than us, though, including Blackhaven. Ha-ha! Adinaran goes past 1. Pass 2, Ben Johnson's through, and Neil Cross. What a chance that was for Neil Cross. He was offside anyway, but lovely ball. Nice piece of work, actually. I would have expected better from Neil Cross there. Great first touch. Curtis Thomas now. Can he do a bit of his magic? Slips around the side for Johnson, and saved, and cleared. Oh my goodness, what a chance towards the end. We've shown little glimpses in this match at times. Adinaran as well. Michael Lee, and it's flicked over the crossbar. Few little chances here and there. 3-1, still probably a fair result, but we have at least shown something here. Starting to find our feet a little bit. Oh dear, that's poor again. Please don't let this one get screwed up again. And once again, Gilbert's just been able to spin around him, and it's another brilliant save this time from Idahan. Johnson. And it's gone for goal and is wide. So not the ideal perfect day, but we are at least not in the relegation zone after match day 1. A 3-1 defeat away at Chesterfield. The penalty, frustrating, some poor defending it in places. Hopefully as we start to bed in, we can grab ourselves a couple of victories and start to stabilise ourselves. But we're not expecting to be up here this year. I'd happily settle for down here. Just as long as we're not in here, that's fine. At least a new striker scored. That's a good sign. I still think there's right back to come in, striker to come in, maybe even another defensive midfielder that meets that role perfectly. Those are my 3 signings. And remember, I do still have £390,000 basically and 13k available. So yeah, because we changed the bonuses around in case you're wondering. But you can see the contracts just not. I even tried to loan Bradley Davidson from QPR, but they weren't having it. So, next episode, obviously coming back for Blackpool. Oh, Sheffield Wednesday are in this. Oh no, that's the League Cup. Blackpool at home at Castle Park. And then I'm not sure what we'll do after that. Probably, I guess, Accrington Stanley. Because it's the final day of the, well, not final day, but right at the end of the transfer window. So, if you've enjoyed this episode and you look forward to the new season, drop a like, that'd be sensational. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be dope as well. I'll join you guys in the next episode. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and usually at the weekend too. So follow me over there. New save starting soon. Outcast of Icons 2. It's going to be sick. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun, Capybara. Bye-bye.